Here we have 4 pieces of metal debris and a wind spline stretching from the first one back left to where I'm standing. In Wise, I'm using a meter plugin to route the wind volume to an RTPC, which I then use to increase the volume of metal rattling. So when the wind picks up, we get rattling. Over here in this tunnel, I'm putting Wise's cone attenuation to good use. We have 2 positionals. One is this resonant tunnel sound you hear when you're outside the tunnel, but when you're inside and you turn around, well, you hear the outside. Now, Wise's cone attenuation allows me to make sure the player only hears what's relevant to them. With these chutes here, there's some ambience, but what's really cool is the spline we have going down the chute that only plays sound when a player gets close. It allows us to fake a physics interaction by just playing slide sounds when the player is nearby. And then as we move closer to the end, we start to get heavier wind. There it is. And we can even hear the big crystal there and the humming of it. So now we have much heavier wind as well as the rush of the ocean. And as I go ahead and touch it, so that is happening over here in the Touch Crystal Blueprint. We have the SFX Glow idle sound is playing as soon as the game starts, and that is this one right over here in my Environmental Crystal Glow idle. And so that's going ahead and looping infinitely. And then on component begin overlap. So when the player overlaps the box that is that crystal, a number of things happen. The first thing that happens is that I'm going to shut off all the sounds. So I'm stopping this idle and I'm stopping this active one, which will be active after this sequence is done here. So I'm stopping anything that would be playing at the time. And then I'm going to go ahead and play this touch effect I have here. Just a nice super soft sound. And then after that, it's going to play the active sound. So this is the idle sound, but it's been sped up. So now if you go ahead and touch it again, you get everything is stopped, it plays the touch, and then it keeps playing the active one. Now for the beast. So it noticed me, it played its little sound there, and I can go ahead and hit tab in order to focus on it. There we go, it's the impact. Ooh, some hard-hitting sounds there. As it disappears from existence. I had to go ahead and find the animations. So we can look at them, some of them here. These are going to be for the player. So if we look at, let's look at an attack and something like the heavy attack. There we go. And we can see that down here is the timeline. So this is the timeline of the animation. And then right here is where I decided to place my audio kinetic event notifier. And that is what is sending into Wise, sending the command to actually play the sound. So I had to play around with where I actually wanted that so that it actually made the most sense. Now you also notice that the vocalization doesn't happen every time. I created a percentage with that. I thought it would be kind of annoying if he decided to just scream every single time he swung. So it doesn't do it quite every time. So if I go ahead to my event and I look at my player attacking with the sword, I can see that I have one is the sound of the whoosh, and the other thing is my attack vocalization. And I just went ahead and put a percentage on the randomizer here. So if I go to my player and I go to my Vox attack, and this is what's playing, and there's a 50% chance of it being attacking, which is the vocalization, or silence. So it's just not playing every single time. And the monster has that exact same thing on as well.